Hello there. For some reason my Zoom not working today, so I'm not able to have anyone in my private room for questions or anything today, which is unfortunate. But I will just continue here with live. This is the only way it seems that I'm allowed to engage with people today. For whatever reason, this is the way it's going to be. We just finished an hour of movement and breath work, and I was trying to paint some images and pictures to you, foreshadowing a little bit about meditation, which is the foundation of natural healing. It's the foundation of natural health. It's in the meditation that we get to actually engage with the mind, with the consciousness, with the breath, and with the energy that courses through the being, our own personal energy. It's our own personal energy that heals us. And we need to become conscious and aware of it. And the way to find it is to sit with the breath. And that works best if the body is empty. If the body is full of foods, then the body is influenced by the digestion, the sugars, and the hormonal response within the body to the sugars, to the proteins, to the fats, to the elements that are coming into the blood through the digestive processes. So there are some physiological changes within the body that happen after we eat. And those changes dull us or make us less able to feel the subtle energies of the higher self. So this is at the heart and the root of natural health. This is at the heart and the root of weight loss. This is at the heart and the root of healing pain in our bodies. And this is also at the heart and the root of us fixing, changing, or healing anything in our lives. If we want more wellness or wealth, right? More wellness or more wealth, if we want greater health or greater relationships, all of this discussion and talk is about expansion, more, getting more out of our lives, or stepping into a better version of ourselves, going for our best health, our best wealth, our best relationships. And that all starts with the relationship that we have or that we are having with ourselves. That's the foundation. That's the beginning relationship, the relationship we have with ourselves. It starts there. That's where natural health begins. With a relationship with the self, with knowledge of the self, self-knowledge, self-knowing, knowing the self, self-mastery, becoming a master of yourself, right? This happens through meditation, first and foremost. This is the foundation of healing yourself. Meditation, which is, break it down, is it's focusing on your breathing and then what's going on inside of the mind. the thoughts. And the thoughts, I say, there's two types of thoughts. There's intentional thoughts, and there are images or imagination. We've got intentions and images or imagination. Two aspects of thought, two parts to thought, right? And we need to exercise both. And we need to know and understand both, because we aren't our thoughts, but our thoughts influence us a lot. They influence the way that we feel. And we can always change the way we feel by changing the thoughts, specifically the thoughts in the imagination. This will alter the way we feel dramatically and rapidly. You can test this out right here, right now. Imagine yourself on a beach in Hawaii. Just imagine yourself on a beach in Hawaii. If you've been to Hawaii before, you can go into your memory banks. And if you've never been, you can go into your imagination. And you can almost feel the sand or the warmth of the sun. Just natural, just the warmth of the sun, the infrared light, the warmth of the sun, the infrared light of the sun. The frequency and vibration of infrared light from the sun gives you warmth of the sun. Or you can feel even the sand, the earth behind you. You can feel the frequency and the vibration, the heartbeat of Mother Earth coming from behind you, laying on the sand, feet in the sand. You can feel the warmth of the sand. You can feel it in your imagination. Your imagination is where you grow feelings. You can grow feelings of happiness or sadness. And thoughts and feelings of happiness, joy, are high frequency thoughts. And we can choose low frequency thoughts, imagining things of lower frequency: anger, frustration, resentment, jealousy, envy, fear-based thoughts, fear-based emotions, and love-based emotions: compassion, thankfulness, gratitude, empathy, love, unconditional love. All these are love-based. These are high frequency. I want to be my best. So I want to be in the high frequency or the love-based thoughts. It's to come to awareness of the thoughts that are going on in the mind. It's to be aware of the musings of our mind. And we do this by watching our breath, by focusing on the in and the out breath. Two things: in and out breath. Two things. Always two things in a reality of duality. Always two things in a reality of duality. Yes, this is what this is. So what I wanted to talk about today, first I wanted to finish off talking about what we just did was our workout. If you didn't see the workout, you could see it. I recorded it. It's live and recorded in the group. You could go see the workout if you like. I'm going to now move on to discussing nutrition and coaching. Nutrition and coaching. And I got to start with the foundation of this coaching program. The foundation of healing yourself naturally is at the meditation. That's the breath. That's the intentions and the imagination. I want to talk a little bit about that today. But first, I want to say that, the human has fallen from grace. We are kings and queens, and we're living like paupers. We are living at 1/10 of our capacity and capability. We have so much more power and ability within us than we know of, than we are using. We are unconsciously creating sickness, illness, disease, pain inside of our bodies. That's what's happening to our bodies and our lives. We're creating that ourselves. We need to take responsibility for it. Whatever we've got, we've created. We get what we give. We get what we give. This is a cause and effect universe. This is a give and take. What we give is what we get. Right? If we want to get something different, we've got to change what we give. This is an exact science. This is an exact science. The universe, the world. This is how it works all the time. It always works this way. It doesn't have any exceptions to that. There's no exceptions to that. This is how it is all of the time. It's always an exact mirror. It's always an exact mirror. So you can't say, oh, it doesn't work for me. It always works for everyone. We're all getting what we're giving. And if we all want to change what we're getting, we have to change what we're giving. So we have to become aware of the energy that we're holding inside of ourselves, because that energy, the thoughts, the words that we're thinking and saying, creates a certain frequency or vibration that we're giving off to the world, to the planet, to our world, to our universe, right? The energy that we are giving off to our universe is what's creating what we have. And if we want to get something different, if we want to get health, if we want to lose weight, if we want to get toned and strong and lean, if we want to have more energy, if we want to sleep better, if we want to reduce our stress, if we want to improve our relationships, if we want to make more money, if we want to change or improve our career or our future, right? All of this happens by us getting greater awareness of ourselves and the energy that we're sharing off most often throughout our day. And if we get more conscious of the energy that we're sharing off throughout the day, then we can start creating what we want in our life. So we can start creating heaven rather than living in hell, right? And this can happen to every single one of us. We can all live here in heaven. This can be heaven for any of us, all of us, or it can be our hell. And that's what we call unconsciously creating. Unconsciously creating. Then you start creating what you don't want in your life, right? What's going on right now is that most of us are unconsciously creating, and that's because we've been fed a number of untruths. There's some big mistakes out there. I want to say that the biggest mistake that's out there on the planet is that we get our energy from our food, and I want to say that this, while it can be true, while it is true, while it's kind of a partial truth, it's not the only way that we get energy, and it's for certain not the most effective and efficient way for us to get our energy. The most effective and efficient way for us to get energy is not food. You see, getting energy from food has a price. It has a price to pay. When we burn calories in order to get food, to get nourishment, when we use carbohydrates and proteins and fats for energy, the body is fueling itself from macronutrients. When you start using macronutrients for energy, there is a ash waste. Just like when you burn wood, in a fireplace, you get an ash waste. Soot, ashes that are stuck in the fireplace have to be cleared, shoveled and cleared every few burns that you do in the fireplace. It's the same thing inside of our bodies. We need to shovel the ash waste and disregard it. We need to get rid of it. We need to remove the waste. We need to remove the toxicity that's inside of the body. After we've been burning food for fuel, for energy, for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, then we've got our body that's filled with ash waste. But we're still stuck in the broken ideas that we've been taught since grade 2, that we need this nourishment to be happy, healthy, and well. We need these proteins, we need these carbohydrates, we need these fats, we need these calories, we need this energy, we need to have breakfast, the most important meal of the day, we need to have 3 meals a day and 2 snacks, we need to have these protein powders and these vitamins and these minerals, or we won't be healthy. It's like we need to get something to be healthy. And that's the broken idea, that we need to get something to be healthy, that we need to get something to be happy, that we need to get something to be well. That our happiness, our wellness, our love, our joy is something that we have to get. This has been the program of the physical reality. And I want to talk a little bit about that incorrect program, and it's a program in our mind. It is not a program that operates in the level of consciousness. It's not our nature to be like that. It's what we have learned. We were taught that. From grade 2, we've been taught the ideas that have created that physical reality for ourselves. And then we're looking for happiness and health inside of it, and we can't find it because it's not in there. It's not in the mind, and we're trying to process it and understand it of mind, with mind, and it's not in mind. Health, wealth, joy, happiness is an inside job. And that's what I want to talk about today. What exactly is the inside job that makes us happy, healthy, and well, right? It's to break the illusion, the bubble, the broken ideas, thoughts, and words, change the mind from being stuck in all of the things that we've learned from our lifetime. All of the thoughts and words that we think and say, we learned during our lifetime. And those thoughts and words that we know, everything that's in our mind that we've seen, heard, smelt, touched, felt, experienced, memory, this is what's in our mind. And with that thought and that energy of mind, we can't heal ourselves because it isn't of mind. It's of consciousness. It's of consciousness, and it's to recognize that there are 3 parts to the self. At least you could break it into that and say that there is the body, and we just worked on the physical, and there is the mental, and that's a part of us, but it isn't us. So is the body a part of us, but it isn't us. And of course, we know this because when we die, the body will still be here. The cells, the structure will still be here, but we will have gone from here. So obviously we are not the structure, we are not the cells. Yet we've been told through school and taught that we are this collection of cells that requires certain things to maintain the cell. This is what we've been taught, this is what we've been told, but we are not the cell. Right? The cell still stays when I die. The energy goes. We are the energy. Right? We are the energy. We are the vibration. We are the frequency. We are the current, the electricity. We are the current, right? We are the consciousness. We are the life. We are the breath. We are the life. We are the breath. We are what's coursing through the cells, right? So here's the big myth. Here's the big myth. We've been told that we need food to live. Food equals life. See, without food, the truth of the matter is, you could probably, without any experience at all, probably live 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months, probably without food. Realistically. But if you didn't have water, you could probably go 2 to 3 weeks. But if you didn't have air, air is what? Nitrogen and oxygen predominantly, pretty much. Nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen is what makes protein, so you could breathe in protein. Air, you could live about 2 to 3 minutes without air. So, see that we've been sold that food is life, and that illusionary idea has duped us into believing that we get our energy from food, and so we can't live without food. And then we've gotten addicted to the foods. We've got an addiction and an incorrect idea that's blocking us. And we need to break the addiction and let go of the ideas that are associated with food, like the macronutrients and the proteins and the carbs and all of the calories and calories in and calories out, and breakfast is the most important meal of the day. We need to get a certain amount of protein and carbohydrates and magnesium, certain type of magnesium. Yep, this is what we've been told. This is all the stuff we've been told. Right? And it keeps us trapped in the thinking that, we're unhealthy actually if we stop eating. And that's actually where the health is. When we stop eating, because we're stopping the mess. And actually coming back to what's true is that we are an air-breathing being who can't live without air. And if we could process our air better, then we would actually be happy, healthy, and well. We could process our air better. And we could process our air better just simply by practicing breathing. Just the breath work practice alone will heal and change your life. Will begin to heal and change your life. Just breath work practice. As simple as that. Focusing on the air. Focusing on the truth. Focusing on the truth that we are of the light and the earth. We can just put our feet on the earth and look to the light. And that alone will heal us. Just feet on the ground, look to the light, and breathe. That's it. Simple science, right? That's what it is. To come back to what's natural. What's natural is we are an air-breathing being. And if we focus on what we are and what we actually need to do, then we will heal naturally. It's just natural. It's to get out of the stinking thinking, the ideas that we've been told in our lifetime that are keeping us trapped exactly where we are. Okay? And associated with those broken ideas, we got some addictions that we need to break. We've gotten addicted to foods and drinks and substances, medications and drugs, TV shows, shopping, holidays, people, all sorts of things that we've become addicted to, and we need to learn how to let go of. And right away the mind says, well, I don't want to let go, but I love, well, yeah, it's don't talk about what you don't want. Don't talk about what you don't want. Talk about what you want. You want more health, you want more wealth, wellness, you want better relationships, you want more love in your life. This is what we want to talk about. Don't talk about what you don't want. Talk about what you want. Be intentional. Be intentional. So I want to kind of give you some new ideas today, and not that you have to embrace my ideas. I don't expect anyone that's going to maybe take everything that I have to say, but I'm just going to try and inspire some alternative thought in mind, because this is how change happens in the world. Is that we get new ideas from something, someone, some way. We get new ideas, and that's how change happens. We think about a new idea in mind, we hold it in mind in our intentions, we image it in mind in our imagination. And this is how, while we breathe, we hold those ideas in mind while we breathe, and then that's how that comes into our reality, right? Nothing can come into our reality without first existing in our mind. So in order for us to heal ourselves, we'd actually have to believe that we could. Belief is a massive part of it. Believing that you have the power. In order for me to heal, I'd have to believe it before it can come into reality. So if I wanted to make, for instance, the person that made the first automobile, first they had to think, I want to make an automobile. Then they have to imagine, how could I make an automobile? It's got to come into your mind. It's got to come into your mind before it can come into your reality, right? So I have to think I want to love myself. I want to love my wife. I want to love my children. I want to love my clients, my career, my job. I want to love my future. I want to love where I'm going. I'd have to intend it before it can come into my reality. Hold it in mind and you image it in mind. Speak it in your words. Think about it. Speak it into your words. Put it over your life. This is how it happens. Right? So I just want to give you some new ideas today, because I think it's new ideas that allow this to happen. Because you see, whatever you're thinking, saying, and doing when you got sick, or when you got pain, or when you started to gain weight, or when anything went wrong, whatever you were thinking, saying, and doing when anything went wrong, those are the thoughts, words, and actions that you need to change. Whatever foods you were eating, whatever thoughts you were thinking, whatever things you were doing, when you got sick, when you got fat, when you got unwell, when the wheel dropped off your wagon, when your relationship fell apart, when you lost your job, when you just lost. Whenever you lost, whatever you were doing when you lost, that's what you need to change. So you need new thoughts, words, and actions from what you were doing. So I want to give you some alternative ideas today. And I think it's very important, because I think we all come from different backgrounds. And I understand and respect that, but I don't think it matters. If you grew up in a Christian home, or a Jewish home, or a Muslim home, or if you grew up in a Hindu home or a Buddhist home, or if you grew up in a black home or a white home, or an Asian or an Indian home, if you grew up with young parents or old parents, if you grew up with rich parents or poor parents, if you grew up at a different social economic background, if you grew up at a different latitude or longitude, if you grew up in Australia or in North America or in China, or in Africa, wherever you grew up, you were influenced by different ideas, different religious stories. So you have different attachments to the understanding of God. Or in some homes, there was no mention of God, or God might even have been like, a bad thing, like, don't even talk about that stupidness. That's like witchcraft, like, forget about it. Like, some homes, people didn't acknowledge and don't want to acknowledge God, or they just acknowledge science, which is the Big Bang Theory about the creation story. We were created by, nothing becoming something. There was an explosion of nothing, and it became something. That's the science. You want to use science? That's your science God. Right? Like, it makes no difference to me. Some people want to talk about the flat earth. It makes no difference to me. Some people want to talk about the UFOs, the Galactic Federation. They want to talk about, that's a very modern story right now. Some people want to talk about the Loch Ness Monster, the Sasquatch, the inner Earth, NASA being a fraud, or the conspiracy theory, the killer virus, whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter what background or understanding you've got. I want to talk about the common ground. I want to talk about the common ground. Like, it doesn't matter where you came from or what you learned or what you know. You still need to breathe. And if you don't breathe, you'll die. I want to talk about the science of breath. I want to talk about breath work. I want to talk about mindset. I want to talk about the truth. I want to talk about healing yourself. I want to talk about doing it naturally. I want to talk about how that happens. And I want to say that it happens within yourself with a change of mind. Some new ideas have to come into your mind. I want to share some new ideas with you today. Doesn't matter where you came from, religious-wise, doesn't matter. I'm just going to share with you what I think, what I see with regards to spirit, with regards to the higher self, the soul, the spirit inside of the human being. This is what I see. And I see that there is a space. There is a space that's kind of the unmanifest space. And in that space, there was love. This is how it started. Like, the Big Bang Theory says there was nothing, and then all of a sudden there was something material. I'm saying before there was something, there was like this nothing in the nothing space. This is the nothing space. I'm saying in the nothing space, it's pure love, unconditional love. That's what I'm saying is in the back of the universe. And, it was nothing, it was unconditional love, and then it came forward and it became something. Now, you could say that was an explosion, or you could say that was like on the first day there was light, on the second day there was the earth and the heavens. You can say it, you can say it in any way. Like, nobody knows how it got from love to how it came to here. It blew up. It blew up from where? Like, there's no, like, it just blew up from nothing. So there's still no explanation. It's just a theory. Like, you can't confirm it. You can't prove it. If anyone tries to tell you that they can prove it scientifically, they can tell you that the stars are going further apart. And with that information, they can assume that it was probably closer together before. But you can't tell me what happened 30 billion years ago. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's just a theory. It's all based on theory. So let me just give you some theory, just some ideas. It was unconditional love in the back. And this love here, this is immeasurable. It's at a frequency, at a vibration that's beyond anything in the physical reality. In the physical reality, There are like 169 elements, I believe. 169 elements on the periodic table, I believe. So with the 169 elements that exist on the periodic table, they couldn't put anything together that could measure what's in the unmanifest space. God or love. I call it unconditional love, but you could call it God. You could call it the all. If you want to call it Allah. You could call that energy in the back. Whatever you want to call that. I call it unconditional love. I'm saying it was this unconditionally loving force in the back. And it had a frequency and vibration that was so high that it was immeasurable. It is immeasurable. You can't take anything of the 169 elements in the material world to measure it. It cannot be measured. It's on a frequency and vibration that's beyond measure. And that's the thing. And some people say, well, I'm waiting for science to get a report that it prove it. Well, you can't prove it because it's unmeasurable, and it will always be unmeasurable. That's the way that it is. That's what I see. Right? So nobody knows about it. No one can speak about it because it's too big for the conceptualization of the human mind. So you can't put it into a book and say this is what it is. You can say that, but that's not true. That's what the quantum mechanics says, the mathematics. The quantum mathematics says there's something back here. We can put the math to say that there's something here, but we can't measure it. There's no way to measure that. So what I'm saying is there was this immeasurable nothingness, and for some reason it decided it was going to create something. Nobody knows why. They can say they know why. They can make a story up about it, but nobody does know why. To me, the only thing that makes sense is it did it because it wanted to experience itself in the physical. It wanted to love. It wanted to love itself. It's the only thing that makes any sense to me, but it all came from one loving energy, and it wanted, for whatever reason, no reason at all, it just wanted to experience itself with material hands. It wanted to hug and hold and touch and love. It wanted to love. So it created the physical from itself. So here it was immeasurable, and then from there it reached forward and created the physical reality. This is the physical reality. So the physical reality, from what I see, was made from the one thing splitting itself in half. That's what I see. The unconditionally loving force, which was immeasurable and all-powerful and all-knowing and didn't need anything and had no reason to do anything at all, but it decided to reach forward with its two arms. Now, I don't know that it had two arms, but we're made in its image. I don't know that, but that's a story that goes with, it's like it created this way. Like it gave Jesus and Buddha. It gave East and West. It gave two. It gave two. It split itself in two. And then when it split itself in two, then it became measurable. It became the physical. It reached forward as two bits and then separated from one bit to two bits. It separated itself into plus and minus. This is plus. I'm going to make this plus, and I'm going to make this one minus. It separated itself into two. It separated itself into plus and minus. This is what I see. And plus was masculine. And minus was feminine. Now, we've been taught good and bad. But from what I see, it's not good and bad at all. It's divine opposites. In that these two energies are equal, yet mirror opposites, that they perpendicular, they meet, and then that's it. They never come parallel. Like they're always oppositional. Like you'll never understand the other completely. You can never understand the other completely. And the other will never be exactly like you. They may think about some things, but they think about them in a different way. They're the other. It's different. The masculine and the feminine. It's not good and bad. It's not good and bad. It's not one good and one bad. We need two. We need both. It's always two. It's always both that we need. And all of this in the physical reality is supported by the breath. In the physical, the breath allows it to happen, enables this to happen and work, enabled by the breath. There was an unconditionally loving force. It came forward and created two. It split itself into two, masculine and feminine. And now I want to go further from this, and I want to say masculine is like the sun, Father, Son, and feminine is like the earth. And you can't say one is good and one is bad. They're both awesome. You can't say one is better than the other. But we can say that, the light of the sun is the seed from Father, Son that gives to Mother Earth the energy that she needs to take the green chlorophyll and manifest oxygen. Takes the light of the sun and manifests oxygen that can nourish and create all of the life. Mother Earth creates the life from the light of Father, Son. Father, Son's light enables Mother Earth to create the oxygen with her green and blue. And Mother Earth creates everything in life. She creates it. She's the creative energy. So if we want to create something, we got to do it in the divine feminine. If you want to create health, if you want to create wellness, wealth, if you want to create happiness, joy, it's done in the feminine. But the masculine is the seed, the thought seed that is required to make Mother Earth do that correctly, efficiently, effectively. She can't do it without him, right? What else I want to say about the feminine and the masculine? Masculine is the plus. So imagine if we bring it down to the elements, to the chemistry. Imagine every single element, 169 elements on the periodic table, all of them made up of protons and electrons, plus and minus. If you come down to the very first element, hydrogen, the first element, hydrogen, the smallest element, hydrogen, it's got like one proton and one electron in it. So that proton and electron, it's spinning. It's made of these two elements, right? And all of the other elements are bigger and more complicated than that. But at its simplest form, the physical is plus and minus, masculine and feminine. It's both. There's nothing in the physical elemental that is not both. There isn't anything. Everything here starts with hydrogen and goes up. And the first thing has plus and minus, and all of the other things have more pluses and minuses in them. But it's this, masculine and feminine, right? And we, the human, the life on the planet, we are the caretakers of the planet. We are the ones that are in charge. We are the ones that can balance the two energies inside of ourselves. The 23 chromosomes from mom and 23 chromosomes from dad. We are the ones that can bring that energy of Father, Son, and Mother Earth together inside of ourself, inside of our consciousness. That's a balance that we can create within ourselves. That's healing. That's self-love. That's the same thing. Health, self-love, self-care, balance, harmony. The breath. Coming to the breath. Supported by the breath. I like to call this, this is the proton and the electron. This is what I like to call the thinker. And this is the feeler. All right? This is like the mind and the body. The mind and the body. The thinker and the feeler. The body's like the feeler. Right? So if you think about the vacation on the beach, you feel the sand or the warmth. The feeler is the creative energy, the creative force. The imagination is the feminine. The divine feminine, the creative energy is the imagination. And this is the thinker. This is the decision maker. I am going to be healthy. I am going to be well. This is the electromagnetic being. The sun is the electric energy. And the earth is the magnetic energy. And the human is both. He is the mineral, the elemental of Mother Earth, and the divine light, electric energy of Father Son. The human is both. 23 chromosomes from mom, 23 chromosomes from dad, left and right brain, thinker and feeler. The human is both. And the human can bring the two together and think about what he or she wants, and then create the feelings of the thoughts that he or she is thinking. Because feelings is what we truly are. Feelings is a result of what we are thinking. If we think about the holiday, we can feel it. Feelings are a result. This is a cause and effect universe. We live in a physical reality of duality, two, cause and effect. It's both. So the feelings that we're feeling is a result of the thoughts that we are thinking. If we're thinking ideas that we can't live without food, or thinking ideas that we can't give up this food, or thinking ideas that we're getting sick, or we're worried about sickness, if we're holding ideas like this in mind while we breathe, then we're creating that. And if we start to make a decision about what we are thinking or what we're going to be thinking, I am growing in health. Making an affirmation, a decision. I am in charge of my health. Taking responsibility. I am responsible for my health. I am taking charge of my health. I am getting healthy. This is a decision that I'm making in the masculine mind. I am getting healthy. I have to make that affirmation or decision in the masculine mind, and I need to grow it in the creative energy, in the imagination, in the feminine mind. So I need to say, I am getting healthy, and then I need to imagine health growing in my life while I breathe. Right? Holding that intention in your mind. I am growing in love. I am growing in health. I am growing in wellness. Breathe in. Breathe out. This is meditation. This is the foundation, the ground roots, the understanding, the ideas that we need to start to move into that'll allow us to understand how we can manifest health or wealth or love in our lives. It's the foundation to come to the breath. First thing in the morning, a sitting practice, in bed, just as you wake. Coming to the energies of what you want. What do I want today? I want to have an awesome day. I want to think about that. What would it be like to have an awesome day? Imagine it. I am having an awesome day. Imagine it. I am growing in health. I am growing in wellness. Imagine filling yourself up with love, and then imagine sending your love out to the other, sharing your love, right? I am wishing well to my family, to my wife, to my children, to my friends, to my enemies, to the other. I'm wishing love to myself. I'm wishing love to the others. This is how we heal ourselves, lovelies. Coming to what's natural, coming to logic, coming to the laws, the natural laws. Thank you for watching. Have yourself a super awesome